Cryomix Insert Coin and Complain is being brought to you by Firecloud and Commander Haggis.
And welcome back to Insert Coin and Complain with myself. Oh, you got a new background. Oh, that's not my name. Sorry.
It's been there for the whole time we've been talking before we
Yeah,
went
well,
on the air.
I wasn't paying attention. Sorry, I'm Firecloud, and this is Commander Haggis. This is our third
Indeed.
episode of Insert Coin and Complain. What is that anyway?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
It is
Oh, it's a
a.
freaking Star Citizenship, is it?
It is. It is.
Nice.
It's my old
Okay.
ship.
Yeah,
An
it's your old ship.
Asgard.
Yeah, it is
An
your old ship.
Asgard.
That's right.
Yeah.
You upgraded it to an Ironclad, didn't you?
Yeah, which I can't fly, which is.
Oh, you can now. The 4.9's out, and apparently they fixed a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, I might try it the weekend then.
So-
Anyway, that's not what we're.
No, that's
talking
not
about.
what we're talking about. So we will start on. We've got like two topics for this one, but we might actually fly through the two topics quite quickly, depending. So we'll start on GTA 6 because that's like on everybody's mind at the moment. It's looking good. It's looking pretty. You're just shaking your head.
GTA
Mhm.
for me is like original GTA, top down, amazing PS1,
Oh
and
yeah,
everything that's come after it. I'm just like, yeah, I just don't care.
Well,
They're
GTA.
good, but I just don't care.
Right, so I agree. GTA 1 and 2 were great. GTA London was fantastic. I love GTA London. GTA when it went 3D, the first one was pretty good. And I really liked Vice City. However, I wasn't too fussed about San Andreas. Although the gameplay was fun and everything, I just never completed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And GTA 4 was okay. I wasn't a big fan of it. GTA 5, I really liked GTA 5, but I thought the online stuff could have been a little bit better. It's good for with friends. Yeah. Now, GTA 6, like it's looking good, but it's obviously only coming to the PlayStation and Xbox at the moment. It will be possibly another year before it comes to PC, which is typical for Rockstar anyway. So
Yeah.
that's not my gripe. Yeah, that's not my start of my gripes anyway. My start of the gripes is it's only going to be 30 frames per second to begin with. See, you're just laughing now, and it's like that's all I can say for the beginning is 30 frames per second. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, okay.
this is where I'll begin. It's 30 frames per second. That's BS. Yeah, that
But
shouldn't be.
is that 30 FPS per second is on current hardware, right? Or
Nope, that's 30 frames per second for all PlayStation and all Xboxes.
yeah, but the current generation, not what's coming.
Well, if the PlayStation 6 is released, but it's going to be another 2, maybe 3 years before that's released, and then
Well,
the new Xbox is going to be another 2 years, possibly 2.
yeah, so you're going to be stuck. It's the same thing that happens at the end of every generation with a new AAA title that comes out. You're in that choice where it's like, do I buy this
Yeah.
and have a really crap experience, and then possibly have to buy it again when I upgrade to the next generation? I'd
Yep.
like to think
Yeah.
they wouldn't do that to you, and they would just go, do you know what? You've bought the game
Well,
once.
no, they
Here you
did that
go.
last time though, didn't they?
Yeah, they
You had
did.
to pay, I think it was like £10 or something to get a PS5 upgrade or an Xbox Series upgrade or something like that.
Yeah, I think it
It
was,
was a bit
which I
rubbish.
think is really rubbish because it's like it's they release the game, and then as soon as they release the game on the current platform, the majority of their team starts building or starts modding it for the dev kits that they've got in house for the next gen.
Yeah.
But the next generation could be delayed till 2030. I think a
Yeah.
lot of development
Yeah.
houses are asking both Xbox and PS to delay to 2030 because of the crisis within the gaming industry and just coders and people being laid off, and
Hmm.
it's like you'll have delays, you'll have like inflated budgets and things like that, so you could be sat there for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 30 FPS,
See?
if it was me, I wouldn't buy. I'd just
Right.
be like, why my
So
eyes are bleeding.
so the game is going to be 300 gig.
That's
Okay.
okay.
But you're going to have
Okay.
you have to have a 100 gig swap file.
What do
That's
you
what
mean?
basically you got to have a 100 gig extra on top of that, just
Oh,
so
I
you
see
can
what
have
you
it
mean.
make sure it stays
Yeah.
installed and updated.
I suppose like it's bad.
Which is
bad
it's bad.
it's
I think that's terrible.
it's kind of
because
a
the PlayStation at this present moment in time, the base PlayStation,
mm,
if you're just buying one, is 1 terabyte, and it's not even 1 terabyte. It's actually you're only getting something like 842 gig.
yeah,
So
because
that's
you need
half
less than everything
half
else.
your storage. You have to buy
I
an
mean,
M.2 drive, which costs you approximately 100
yeah,
to
but then
whatever price.
it's like it's Rockstar have made a decision to. I mean, that must be around how their update architecture is working,
Yeah,
which seems quite odd.
yeah,
But I mean, again, it comes down to a choice for you. Then it's like, do you buy it? Don't you buy it?
yeah. Oh no, I quite agree. So I'll go on to my next thing, which is
Yeah.
linked to the memory storage. If you do not have space on your hard drive, you can pay them $5 or $10 to be
You can
able to
rent some space in the cloud, man.
rent space in the cloud. So you're basically the
That.
game.
Sorry,
That
you're gonna have to bleep that out. Sorry. No,
again.
I'm like, no, but
What?
that's just nonsense.
So
That's like, here, we'll deliberately build in this really terrible feature. We can't do anything about it, but if you give us money, we'll fix it for you.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's like,
So
no,
the
don't buy just don't buy GTA 6. There you go.
right. So the
That top next topic.
no. We'll carry on. I've not finished yet because some of this is ridiculous. So obviously the price tag is between, like, depending on what version you buy. There's two different versions. One of them's
Mhm.
$80 and one of them's $100, give or take. Yeah, right.
I'm okay with that. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, prices are going to go up, but the issue is that the $100 one, or is got basically day one information in it that they've
Mhm.
locked behind a paywall, and it's like things like shops and hairstylists and clothing brands. It's such a weird choice to lock behind a paywall. Yeah, and on
I,
it's
Again, I don't know if that's something that
it's
people that play GTA want.
just
I
so
don't know.
weird. Why? But doesn't that set a precedent? So, for example, you're playing the game, you pay
Mhm.
for the big package, and then 2 months down the line they go, "Oh, we're going to install a new set of shops for clothes, but you have to pay 20 quid to actually access those shops."
Yeah, it's just a DLC. I mean,
That's
are these shops actual brands, like real world
no,
brands?
just in-game
All right,
shop.
because I was thinking maybe it's like product placement or something,
No,
but
I'm afraid not. It is literally just their in-game
unless
shops and
and
hairstylists.
I mean, so
It's so weird.
it's purely aesthetic. It's
Yes.
cosmetic things that don't give you a gameplay edge.
At the moment, because apparently
I
there's
then I'm
rumors. I'm going to say there's rumors that that could actually change, and the reason why I say that is because the CEO of Take-Two Interactive literally came out and said that he wants to charge people for the game, and then on
Mhm.
top of that, by this time, or by the 1 years of its release, he wants to charge people who want to play GTA 6, yeah, and if there's an online feature as well, $1 an hour
For what?
to play the game. That
But
that's
what's the dollar for?
so you can play the game.
But I don't understand. You've purchased a license,
Yep, but
you've installed it
yep,
client side.
yep,
So what do
yep.
you need a continual connection to their server then?
No, you don't need a continual connection to the server, but since it's consoles, yeah,
Yeah.
their licensing system is changing, which is our next topic, obviously, which I'll get
So
onto in a minute.
just don't buy it.
Right, so just don't buy it. Yeah, so
That's it.
one
Like
one dollar an
let's
hour.
do it.
If you don't pay the dollar, you don't access the game. They'll lock the game on you.
Yeah, so just don't buy the game.
So
That's it.
as I said, this could be very short in talking about these things. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like GTA 6 doesn't look great, because there's some fantastic features in it. Some of them
Yeah.
are a bit OTT, I think. Apparently, if you get busted, you have to go through the whole court system as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I think that would be
Well,
incredibly
I mean
tedious doing that every day.
that's a lot that's a lot of dollars.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
it's like,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
you've
It's
been
in
locked.
real time, guys.
You've been locked into like going through court proceedings and going to jail for
Yeah.
5 hours. That's $5 already, that right there for them. Yeah,
I just can't I cannot see like I think it's a I
it's like
I definitely think that discussion's been had.
Yeah.
Like 100%, because that is the, Sony have been quite open about this, and so have Microsoft been open about it, in
Mhm.
terms of like future plans are to essentially increase the monetization of their user base beyond you buy a device and then you buy games and you might have a subscription to something. They want to monetize you beyond that,
Oh yeah, yeah, totally,
obviously.
totally.
But I like, I would just kill the game. Like
Yeah,
they would
it
implement
would.
that feature, and well, the thing is, they would if they implement that feature on console, there is no point releasing it on PC because no one will buy it. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter what
yeah.
it is, no one will buy it.
I
We've
think.
seen that before with so many titles where they're like,
Yeah.
oh no, they'll just suck it up, and PC gamers just won't, because the variety is infinite,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, you're quite correct about that.
You
Yeah.
know that, like we were talking about last time. It's just, there's so many things to distract you away from the shiny thing that everyone's talking about, and then in a week's time, on like in PC land, no one's talking about it,
Mhm.
and it's been review bombed, and and the developers back down, but still no one's playing it. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yep.
why
I totally
take
agree.
the risk? Why take the risk
See,
for a dollar,
I
a
think they're
dollar an hour?
I think they're taking a risk with just the way that they're presenting, like, just the storage system, in my opinion, because that's pretty cheeky in itself.
That's very odd. That's
It,
quite an odd thing to
it's a
do.
it's a very odd
Um,
thing and very cheeky thing. Um, now,
Again, it's monetization.
oh
That's
yeah,
it.
it's totally
How
monetization.
how can we squeeze more value out of you as an end user, and
Yeah,
get by giving you basically nothing?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's
So
it.
this leads me on to my next one. Yeah, there is no there's no, sorry, physical copy of the game. There's no disc copy. So obviously that's not going to bother you. Yeah, I
I
understand that. Um, but
don't
they're
get it.
still releasing a box with a digital
Yeah,
code inside.
yeah.
That's
If
cool.
you want a physical thing to put on your shelf, there you go.
But
I don't get
the,
it. I
this
just don't understand this.
right,
I went through this transition 2 decades ago in PC, so I'm like, yeah, I don't
so
care.
on the PC, right? So this is actually leading into our next thing, which is about PlayStation and saying that there will be no physical copies from 2028 onwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now on the PC, you have many different storefronts. You've got GOG, you've got Steam, you've got Epic. PlayStation will just be PlayStation. Yeah, so that means that they
Yeah.
can inflate the prices of their games
Yeah.
to a humongous amount and also
Yeah.
control the sales. With physical copies at this present moment in time, you have a second-hand market, which
Hmm.
drives their sales down. It forces their sales to go down. Without that second-hand market, PlayStation will rip people off. It's as simple
I
as that.
mean, I think I get it. I get where you're coming from. I mean, for me, you've just spent, how long have we been recording? Like 10
Well,
minutes, 15 minutes?
yeah, nearly 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, in the last 15 minutes, you've made the case to me not to buy a PlayStation.
Oh, I quite agree. Yeah, yeah.
Like, just don't buy one.
I'm not going to, like, disagree with you.
Yeah.
This is my, like, my whole case of this whole situation. It's like,
Hmm.
I understand that people will be like, "No, it's just digital," but at the end of the day, you do realize that PlayStation, or should I say Sony, are removing 551 films.
That is total BS, by the way, and that
There
is
we
why
go.
people. That is why you have your Linux server of choice running your like media player of choice, whether it's Plex, Jellyfin, whatever you want,
Mhm.
Kodi,
Mhm. Yeah.
and you don't have to put up with this rubbish.
Yeah.
Just don't buy films on Amazon
Nope.
unless they're physical.
And so
Just
they are
don't do it anywhere. It's
and
just, there's no point.
And so they are
You know.
writing into the terms and conditions for PlayStation games, into your game library, that they will remove them when or if they wish, even
Yeah.
though you've purchased them. Whereas, say
Well,
for
you've purchased a
example,
license.
GOG or Steam or
Hmm.
Epic, they actually have something written into their licenses saying that you own the game now. Yeah, and GOG,
Well,
GOG
not on Steam. Technically, not on Steam.
technically not on Steam, but they do actually have something written in saying that if the game comes off the library, or like a sales system, yeah, uh,
Hmm.
of
Oh
the
yeah,
ability to buy the game, you still actually have access to that
yeah,
game.
because they have an
So
offline loader, so it's like, yeah, you
yeah,
can use that.
and
Yeah,
GOG actually say you can download any of the games off of their shop storefront, and you can install them on your computer without having internet. Yeah, the GOG
Yeah,
have
and
that for all
you
their games.
should be able to.
You should be able to
If
do
it,
all
if
that.
it, yeah,
Sony
if,
are rewriting this system where it's a case of if we take it off of our library, we're taking it off your library, even if you paid for it.
Mhm.
And there was an argument that I was watching about what happens if they do that with GTA 6, if they come under stipulation in some countries stating that
Mm.
GTA 6 is maybe too violent or there's content in there.
Well, you won't be playing it basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, will it
That's
be a
it.
case of the Helldivers situation? Because Helldivers got taken off of, yeah, it was on all the storefronts on all the PlayStation and PC, yeah, and then it was removed from a lot
Yeah,
of the storefronts because we can't have it in that country, and then they
yeah.
lost
So,
rights,
so you-
access rights to it.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, that I mean, get a VPN.
Yeah, you'd have to get a VPN
Get,
for that.
get a
But
VPN.
if they're going to
Why
just
not?
kind of go, well, we don't have physical copies anymore, their prices are going to go skyrocketing high. It'll be a bit
Mhm.
like Nintendo because Nintendo set their prices and they go, well, we're not going to bring our AAA games
Yeah,
down ever.
they don't need to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't need to. You're quite correct.
yeah.
And then on top of that, they can just turn around and say, well, there's no physical copies and we don't really want to have to host this game anymore in our server system. Goodbye, and just remove it.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's just that I know like the PC landscape at the moment is pretty bleak, right? Like my partner was asking why hadn't I upgraded my PC? She only cares because she gets my old machine. Um, and I went and I spec'd out. I just priced out to have the same tier of products that I currently have in my machine. And I think the last time round I spent like maybe, oh God, I'm trying to think now, dude. Just over 2 grand, which for me was a lot. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, and most of that was a graphics card because it was the start of COVID, and
Yeah, I think my graphics card
I
was close on 800 quid or something, wasn't it?
yeah, exactly, yeah, and it was the shortage, and I was like, well, this is MSRP. I can get it from a shop. I'm just gonna buy it, and just that's it. I don't want to be in a queue. Um, so this time round, it would be £5,000,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I was like, yeah, I don't need to build a new PC. I'd love to. I've got the itch to build something and everything else, but even given that, for the money you would spend on a next gen PlayStation or Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
take that money and you'll be able to build a machine that
Just buy
plays
PC.
1440p. Yeah,
Yeah, just buy
that's
PC.
it.
I
And in the same form factor, small form factor machine. Put it by your TV. It won't be loud. You can run a bunch of other services off of it,
Yep.
and just do not give your money to these people.
So this,
That just don't buy one. Like the way you're talking about it, I'm just like, yeah, I definitely don't want to get one now.
well,
I wasn't gonna get one, and now I'm like, I'm definitely not getting
yeah,
one.
you know that I like my PC. Obviously, I love my PC to
Yeah,
bits,
but you're
but
pro console
I like my
crazy compared to me.
I like my consoles. Yeah.
Hmm.
When Xbox came along with their whole, we're going to put DRM on this, and if you want to swap games between each, right, this is the whole spiel now
That was
because,
brilliant. That
like,
was brilliant.
and it's
Yeah,
like, everybody's like, I'm not going to give my mate one of my games and then they have to pay 10 quid to unlock it on their machine and
yeah,
then
exactly.
give
No
it
one's
back to
gonna
me and
do
then I've
that.
got to unlock it again for 10 quid. That was just a complete rip off. It was
Yeah,
ridiculous. You couldn't share games. But PlayStation came out with the genius thing of this is how to share games.
here's a disc.
Here's a disc.
That's amazing.
And what's happening now?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's different leadership, right? It's
They're,
different leadership at the top of the company,
yeah, completely
and
different.
the company's under different
It's very money grabbing.
financial headwinds. I mean, at the end of the day, right? The reality is these companies exist to extract money from you. That they're
Oh yeah,
not.
of course they are. Yeah.
That's it. So
But right,
it's what they're gonna do. It's what they're gonna do. So then it's your choice as a consumer. Do you like don't get me wrong, there'll be people who absolutely love PlayStation and Xbox and they're really invested in the
oh yeah.
ecosystem and
Yeah,
they'll be
yeah.
like, do you know what? I'm willing to give up X just to have the simplicity in my life. And I get that. Like there is something nice about a console where you set it up, you basically plug in a couple of cables, you're like beep, TV comes on,
Yep.
Everything's done for you. The worst thing you've got to worry about is like hardware failure, and then you have a warranty for
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
year or two
that's
years or something.
100% right.
So,
Yeah.
and that's it, right? But then the flip side of that coin is limited libraries,
Mhm.
limited sort of a limited range of things you can do with it.
Mhm.
You're tied into what I would consider as really parasitic contracts with other vendors and storefronts, and it's just kind of like, do you really want to tie yourself? Because I think the next generation of consoles, I think the planned lifespan is going to be the best part of a decade.
Quite
I,
possibly, yeah.
I yeah,
The way the technology is going at the moment, I
I
can't see.
genuinely think
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think
So
with hardware and everything, it's like they'll just be like, no, we can get 10 years, like 8 years, 10 years out of this generation. Maybe we'll do a refresh towards the end or something. Because ultimately they want to push you onto cloud computing.
oh yeah, totally.
You
That's
know,
exactly what they're going for.
if
Definitely.
Nvidia and AMD and these companies get that way, they're like, we actually don't want to go to the hassle of building consumer hardware for you when we can just rent you some virtual space
That's
somewhere
exactly it.
and then harvest all your data.
But not everybody.
And then they're monetize they can change the monetization
Yeah.
format anytime they like. They'll just be like, well, if you don't have to pay for this, then you lose access to
So you lose
everything.
access to everything. See, this
Yeah.
kind of brings me on to my next thing, obviously. Now, old consoles you can buy games for, and you can they're collectibles. These things are collectibles. Old consoles are collectibles. Old game cartridges, old discs, everything. They're all collectible items. They are. There is a PlayStation 2 game that's worth 650 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so rare. Because it's really
Hmm.
hard to find. But these things are not going to happen if the PlayStation 6 or the new Xbox, whatever it might be called, doesn't have a CD drive, yeah, or disk drive, should I say.
Yeah.
So therefore, you won't be able to go into the shop, buy a physical copy. You won't be able to play that in 10, 15 years' time because that console will just be a
Hmm.
brick. It like
Yeah.
it literally won't have any use. Whereas the old consoles just now have a use. You can literally
Hmm.
plug it in, you can play them, you can have lots of fun with your mates, whatever, yeah. And you can also you can start being a collector if you wanted to. There is literally no point
Yeah,
to
but
having a collection that has
yeah,
a PlayStation 6 in it because it
well,
becomes a
that's
brick.
yeah, but Sony doesn't care about that.
No, 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 no.
It's
Sony
like,
don't care about that.
it's
No,
like
no, you're
whatever, we
quite
don't care
correct.
about that. You know,
Now,
I think the reality is with either of these devices is they'll very quickly be just because of the way the architecture is, they'll very quickly be some form of electronic mod. I imagine if they really
possibly.
go down this line, it's not going to take long for some third party company to go like, oh, open up your machine, you plug this thing in, it
Yeah,
then gives you X capability,
yeah,
but at the risk of bricking your machine. And
yeah,
by the way,
yeah. That's
Sony
right.
and Microsoft will not they won't honor your warranty,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
But
Yeah.
that's your choice then. You're like, would you like the device to be more useful, or are you quite happy being
Pirate
exploited financially?
things like this cause pirating software.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
would say
you
so.
you
I
you
think as well,
especially
it's like,
someone will be going online and saying, "Hey, we'll sell you a 4 terabyte stick that you can stick in your
hmm,
machine, and it'll have all these games on it, but you
yeah,
won't be able to connect it to the internet."
what game would you like?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a member of certain groups. I'm like literally the day Pragmata came out, I logged on and there's a copy of it there.
Yeah, don't say so much. This is
Yeah,
on the podcast.
like I know, but like it's the the reality is these things exist, right?
Yeah, they do exist,
And
and it's because of companies doing these things
yeah,
that they exist. If
that's
companies
it.
weren't so greedy, people would
Mhm.
be more than happy to kind of go, "Oh, I'll pay
It's
20, 30
the
quid for that."
it's definitely the issue around ownership, right? That
Yeah,
companies don't actually want you to own something. And
yeah.
I know even back in the day, you you never owned a game, you
Hmm.
never owned a piece of software, but you had a physical thing, um, and you could reinstall or use it or do whatever you wanted
Yeah,
to as many times as you wanted, and you had a license, and that license came with certain agreements in place on both sides.
of course, yeah.
Like it's like back in the day, right? Things like Adobe. Okay,
Hmm.
I knew a couple of people who had. dodgy versions of Adobe, right?
Yeah.
Individuals. I
Limited
now,
edition
I
gold CDs.
yeah, but I now know of institutions,
Yeah.
businesses that are running cracked versions of these software
That wouldn't surprise me.
purely because the subscription model is horrific for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They
They
would
are
rather
absolutely horrendous.
even they're like, even if the cost was like £10,000 up front, we would pay that money because you're not in this yearly upgrade cycle and you're not paying money every month and blah blah blah. And it's like, yes, we would quite happily pay that money,
Hmm.
and then at the net when the next version comes out, then okay, well, give us a 20% discount and we'll upgrade.
Yeah.
But we don't want to be caught in a cycle where we're continually paying, and then you get to a point where it's like, oh, we need to add another user, and then they're like, oh, well, you've gone into like the next tier of BS, so
Yeah.
that's going to be an
Yeah.
extra like a
Yeah.
million gazillion pounds. And so I think a lot of these companies, it's the whole idea of software as a service, right? Um, Absolutely fantastic for the people providing that service, like Adobe and all these companies. It's great for them. It's great. It's been fantastic for their for for their kind of like, I suppose, capex to
Hmm.
profit ratios, because they're essentially extracting rent from people,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's exactly what they're doing.
Um,
That's exactly it.
and they're providing very little for it.
Hmm.
They're doing what they would do anyway. Like if you bought a physical thing at 10K, you would still expect there to be software updates and patches and blah blah
Hmm.
blah. And they're like, oh, and that is generally what they will say. It's like, we're providing you customer service and and it's like, but you would do that anyway.
Yeah.
You would have to do that anyway. It's ultimately why I think Microsoft will die as a viable operating system.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not like tomorrow, but
If they don't do something
yeah,
with it
it's
to
just
actually
because it's so
help
bad.
support, yeah, it is actually really bad. It's a
It's terrible.
bad
Like,
software.
I'm on, I'm booted into my into Windows at the moment because I had to do some stuff on the one program that I can't find a decent replacement for in Linux. So I'm doing it now, and like, it's mad the amount of things where I've been like, no, I thought I told OneDrive to like close down, exit, and it just keeps popping up, and it's like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't
Yeah.
want. Stop asking me if I want to like sync things to a cloud. I don't have a OneDrive account. I don't want a OneDrive account.
Yep. Yep.
This is why I hate using Windows,
Yeah, I quite agree with that.
because everything about it is designed. It's sold as a way to. I mean, it's like it's the myth of what we're selling you is convenience, whereas really what they're doing is extracting money
Hmm.
um from you in a
That's
kind of tiered fashion. And then also, because of the way they're doing this now, there's a huge criminal interest in exploiting this now. And it's not an exploit as in a code, like a software exploit. They're actually exploiting the two-factor authentication, the way Microsoft deals with
oh
it.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
there are people getting locked out of like their OneDrive accounts and these accounts, and they're just like, yeah, but I need access to that. And Microsoft's response is, if you cannot do X or Y,
Hmm.
then we cannot help you. But we know this is disappointing, but we can help you like purchase another account, like another subscription to. And he's,
It
no, but I
can't.
want my data,
It,
my data that's on your goddamn machine. That
it,
you told me to do this. Oh, Microsoft,
it
you told me to put my stuff in the cloud,
it's
and
one
now I can't get it.
it's one of those things where we're talking about this with the PlayStation and the Xbox, yeah. Where you're putting money into
Yeah.
an ecosystem, or
Mhm.
even Apple, for example. I'm not a fan of Apple at all, to be honest. I think that their phones and tablets are really not good, in my opinion.
I think their devices are great. I just think their ecosystem and their kind of their stance on privacy and how they do things is really bad.
Yeah, that's also very true. But
But
you know,
the devices on their own
where
are
you're
really, really good.
but you get locked into the ecosystem,
No,
and
it's yes, that's
and
what I
the
don't like about it.
so you're getting locked into Apple, you're getting locked into PlayStation, you're
Hmm.
getting locked into Xbox. Um, in a way, Microsoft have locked a lot of people who use their services into their ecosystem. If you're using like their Office packages or OneDrive, as you were saying, or their Outlook Express system or Teams, it's all linked together,
Yeah.
and you're locked into that ecosystem. Or businesses use it so many times. The last two businesses I've worked for use the Microsoft ecosystem like that. Um,
Hmm.
and going back to the gaming, it's like once you're locked into using PlayStation or Xbox and everything going digital, you're completely locked in. You cannot get away from it. And if you've put money into it, if you've spent like couple of £1,000 on gaming over the last couple of years or something like that, and then the PS6 comes out and you are going down the whole digital route, then do you have to buy all your games again digitally just to play them?
Yes, you do.
Yes, because you can't use the disc, and that
Yeah.
that that's that's going to hurt a lot of people. It's the same
Which is
as when.
ironic because if you would think going digitally would be the reason to go digital would be that, well, because we're not limited by the physical
Hmm.
encoding on that disk,
Yeah,
when the new device comes out, you log into your account and boom, it's there.
yeah. So
That for me,
the
that's what should happen because you're
but
essentially moving to like a Steam or a GOG storefront where I never worry about, oh, I've upgraded my machine,
yeah.
all these games aren't going to work. I'll be
No, no,
like,
you're
"Well, of
quite
course
correct.
they'll
That's why
always
PC's.
work.
That's why PC
Yeah, they'll
becomes
always
master race
work."
in the master race in this
Yeah.
situation. But the thing is that that's not going to happen because people have been shouting about this for ages. Hey, I have my PS2 games, my PS1 games, my PS3 games. Why is the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5 now not backwards compatible? You've got a disc in there, disc drive in there. Why can't I put in my PlayStation 1 game? It's all about control of their own ecosystem. And when people are like saying, "Hey, why don't you just let us, say transfer over to the digital system?" Say, for
Mm.
example, we put in a barcode, it comes up saying, "Oh, you own this game," yeah, then you can download an emulated version of the game, but they won't
Yeah.
do that either.
Yeah.
You have to buy a subscription to PlayStation, like their PlayStation, whatever it is, PlayStation Plus it is, yeah, and you get a limited number of PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games that you may or may not have owned. Yeah. And the ones that you do own that you might have really loved might not even be on that system. And so, therefore, you're still going back to playing the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 2 or the PlayStation 1 because PlayStation or Sony are controlling an ecosystem to the
But
event that it's actually detrimental to the consumer. They're looking
in
only at the
in
new games.
but in that sense, I would say because you have the physical media, as long as your device works,
Yeah.
your original device. So
Yeah.
you're kind of in the situation that you were with like Nintendo and Super
Hmm.
Nintendo and things like and that's fine. And people accepted that back then.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. And I don't have an issue with that. As long as that device works, that's fine. If it doesn't work, you try and if you really want to, you'll find one of these devices. Or in
Hmm.
fact, they're so simple. They're very easy to fix because there's so little, like the density of components on the board is so
Yeah.
small that you could probably have a good go at fixing one of these things.
Hmm.
Or buy, there's plenty of third party bits kit out there that will emulate multiple devices and allow you to like load a disc through a
That's true.
CD
Yeah.
player or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think in that situation, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, you can still play them. I think that where the thing that I would have an issue with is like kind of say from like PlayStation 4 and beyond,
Hmm.
everything should really be available in a digital library
Yeah.
where licensing permits it, right? Because Sony doesn't own everything. Okay, so Sony may have lost deals, they may have shed different developers may have been purchased or IPs move about, but I'd say where they can, certainly with everything that they own,
Hmm.
it should just be available on a digital storefront. And if you whether you purchased it on PS4, PS5, whatever, it's like, yeah, you own that,
Yeah.
or you own a license to that product.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it not to be playable, basically,
I
because
totally get that.
From PS4 onwards, you're essentially looking
Well,
at
technically,
x86 architecture.
te-
So
te-
yeah, you're
technically,
on AMD by then.
technically, the PS3 stuff, it's not hard to do an
Mm.
emulation on the PS5. Yeah,
No, I
they
know,
do it
but
already.
I'll let them aware of that. I'll just say you'd have to do that, guys. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. But PS4 onwards, as soon as you hit PS4 onwards, you're basically on x86 AMD architecture.
Hmm.
There is no reason why that instruction set cannot go through, like, I mean, not even an emulation layer. Like, put it through a translation layer. Like, essentially what Valve does with Proton is a translation layer,
Yeah.
which is why there's very little performance hit, because it's not emulating something. It's going, I'm going to convert this command from this language to that language, and now it just talks to the hardware. And there's no way that's beyond Sony, right? They built the goddamn
Yeah.
machines. There's no way that's beyond them. They just don't want to do it. If they thought they could charge for it, I guarantee they would do it.
Oh
They
yeah,
would be
yeah,
like,
they would.
for an extra like $5 a month, you can have this feature, and then yeah, all of your games appear in your
So,
library. You
um,
know,
like I'll go into another thing about, like, not having physical media, which is going to be one of the things I think not a lot of people have thought about. Yeah, when you're buying like an Xbox or a PlayStation, you always get a drive pretty much unless you are going for digital only.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people want physical media now for their movies, or they're making Plex or Jellyfin, but we'll say that they're copying their physical movies to put them onto their
Yeah, they're
server.
they're they're
Yeah,
archiving their own data. They're
yeah,
archiving the data they've bought. Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
But
Format shift. Yeah.
but there's also going to be the situation where people will want to buy a console because it's possibly the same price or cheaper than a really good Blu-ray player or 4K
Hmm.
player. You're not going to get that anymore because there's no physical slot for it. So
Yeah.
therefore, you're buying a PlayStation that literally is only for digital games, or an Xbox literally only for digital games. Whereas before, like PlayStation 5, right the way down to like the PlayStation 3, yeah, can play all your Blu-rays and your PlayStation 5 and
I mean,
4 Pro plays 4K.
yeah, like for me, like you're just describing a world where you're buying a really crap PC that
Yeah.
Microsoft have made. Sorry, well, that's an Xbox, right? Yeah, you're just but again, that's why like
Lol.
beyond the 360 Xbox 360 was
That
amazing.
was a great machine. I
Such
love that machine.
such a good machine.
Yeah.
Um,
I love
I
that
didn't
machine to bits.
I didn't feel like I was getting totally price gouged.
No, no.
Um,
They had actually
and,
decent market
and
prices and everything on that
yeah,
machine.
it was pretty good, and I liked the OS experience was quite good.
Yeah, especially with the
Not as
bins.
it wasn't as yeah it wasn't as snappy as like Windows at the time,
I
but
don't like what they've got now, to be honest.
um
It's rubbish.
yeah, I haven't used it in a long time, dude. But since then, I've just
It's like
kind of
Windows
like just
8.
oh
You know
take your
what?
money
Remember?
and
Yeah,
build a PC.
yeah,
That like
yeah,
literally that's it. Get over the fear, or go and buy a pre-built. Like buy a pre. There are literally
yeah.
companies now, and all they are doing is they're building machines
Hmm.
the same like in the same form factor as a Steam machine,
Yeah.
but better for the same money. Just go like, yeah, you can have this.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can have this. It will actually game at 4K.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, no, no. You're
Um.
quite correct. And the new, well, I going back to GTA 4, 6, should I say? It's like that game is only going to be running at 30 frames per second. Doesn't matter if it's 4K or not. It's
That's
just not going to.
crazy.
It's just not going to be good. In my
It's gonna
opinion, it's going
feel
to look
feel
really, really
sluggish.
janky. I think it's going to be janky.
I think it'll just feel terrible.
Yeah.
Like it will because probably for I mean 60 FPS and like well I would say since the PS5 Pro came out that's probably like the default if you have one of these machines you're
Yeah.
going to play at 4K.
Hmm.
You won't have all the eye candy turned on, but
Yeah.
you're playing at 4K. It's 60 FPS, which I think a lot of console gamers don't realize can still feel sluggish.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. It does
but
actually. Yeah. You're right.
60 FPS is like it's fine, it's acceptable.
Yeah.
I like it's the minimum acceptable level you should really aim for.
Hmm.
And I know even on PS5, like like once it got about halfway through its life, it the hardware well sorry the hardware the software had matured to the point where they could squeeze that out of the hardware.
Hmm.
So I just think like But just don't buy GTA 6. Just like
Yeah.
literally, just don't buy it. It's. I know people are dying to see it. It's like Elder Scrolls, like new Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls. I'm just like, just don't buy it. Like if it sounds like they're building in a load of crap features to
Mhm.
it and all this other stuff, like you don't have to buy it.
No, you don't have to buy it. The other
You
thing
know,
about
it's that simple. Just
go,
don't buy it.
going back to GTA 6 for a second, if you buy GTA 6 now, I think it actually
Which I find crazy. Like,
well,
when's
yeah,
the release
pre-ordering.
date?
It's November 19th. November
Is it
19th
though?
for
Is it though?
uh,
That's not what I've heard. I've heard a lot of
oh
rumors that it's
really?
not going to be
Well,
November
it's
19th.
supposed to
Yeah,
be November 19th,
yeah,
and
exactly. I think it could be 2027.
wouldn't surprise me. It is on pre-order, obviously, at this present
Hmm.
moment in time. When you buy it, you get GTA Plus. Is it called GTA Plus? I think it's called GTA Plus, which basically like their subscription service. Yeah, for
What?
Grand Theft Auto, for Grand Theft Auto Online. That they've got a subscription service, so you get extra bits and bobs. Like you get
Hmm.
clothing, you get like some dollars that you can spend in the game. Just things like that. Yeah, I think it's a £5 a
Okay.
month or £10 a month. I'm not actually quite sure. I don't actually have it.
On top of the £5 a month you're paying for your swap storage.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And if you don't cancel it, yeah, it will charge you every month. And from what I
Oh.
understood, there was a conversation. Now, this is just a rumor again. If you don't have GTA Plus, you might not be allowed to play Grand Theft Auto 6 in the full capacity, but in the capacity of being able to play the game and storyline, but things get locked out.
No, well that can't be right. There's no way they would do that.
Well, they're locking it out on the paywall already, so why would they not lock it out on the?
Well, I mean, they're locking out. They're locking out inconsequential items, right? I
That's
don't
what I'm
have
saying. It's
to.
like, if you don't have GTA Plus, they will lock out inconsequential items. You'll be able to play the game to the full capacity of completing it, but you won't get certain things and features within the game,
That's
which
fine. That's the
again
same as
is
that's the
cheeky.
same as PC. That's the same as PC.
Yeah, well,
Like
no,
that's
it's
literally the same as Space Marine 2, where they're like you can buy a season pass and get all this stuff, or you can buy the individual DLCs if you
but it's
want
not a
to,
season pass. It's not a
or
DLC.
you,
It's literally a
or you don't have
subscription
to buy it.
service. That's
Yeah,
a,
no, but it's
that
the same thing.
that's
It's
okay
like
for a single
it's
player
but
game.
yeah,
For a
but don't
single
matter.
player game, come on, you shouldn't buy a subscription service for a single player game. That's
Like
bonkers.
it's I just think it's like if you don't need all that superfluous, like the only way I would say it's bad is if it locks out functionality in the game. So if some of these items then allow you to like
Mm,
progress
yeah.
quicker or improve your character in some way, then I would say yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bad thing. It's like just have a DLC,
Hmm.
just or do what you're going to do and monetize that, but there has to be a route to you getting that item in the game. And then if there's a
Yeah.
route to you getting the item in the game, then there's no point in trying to monetize it.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, it's like pay to win.
But it's a pay. That means it would be a pay to win on a single player game. That's just crazy. Why would you ever do that?
Like people buy people will buy anything.
Oh,
It's the
that's
whole
very true.
FOMO thing,
Yeah.
right?
You're
But
you're
the
you're not
amount
wrong.
of
You're not wrong.
the amount of like, because I'm not like when you brought when you forwarded me through the topics for tonight, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't really know anything about this, so I just kind of went away and read about it. And I was just like the absolute nonsense. Like people are just
Totally.
going bonkers about it's like GTA. It's a video game, guys.
Yeah.
I get that you've been waiting for it a long time, but like you're a 4-year-old man. Calm down. It's like do you know what I mean? It's like you've got kids.
I
You
think.
know, like I just don't get it. I don't understand the level of like, oh my
See,
god.
this is why I keep on bringing up like a lot of people go online and say Star Citizen's been in production for 14 years. It's not even close to being built. Blah blah blah. So on so on so on. Right? It's like Grand Theft Auto 6. Although they only say it's been in production for 12 years, it's been actually 14 years. Yeah. But Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be smaller than Star Citizen. Yeah.
I don't think we're talking about price gouging here. I don't think we should
Hold
really
on.
bring
Well,
C.
yeah, no,
Let's not
hold on,
bring
hold on,
CIG
hold
into
on,
this
hold on. Yeah,
conversation.
yeah. what I was going to say was you don't need to buy. You're talking about FOMO. If you cut
Mm.
out FOMO, you only need to buy a base package, which is like £40. Where
No one's
grant,
gonna do that.
yeah, no, nobody does do that. You're right, but you can
Who's
buy a
gonna
base
do
package.
that?
You get a ship. You can play the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, you've got to pay £80 to play the game, and
Yeah,
you might not get access to everything.
well, you don't know that yet.
No, no. Well, you got to pay £100
As long
to
as
get
you,
access to everything.
well, no, to get access to what we think are cosmetic items that I probably wouldn't care
But
about.
what I'm trying to say is, you have to pay £100 to get the full package for all the cosmetic items and everything, right? Star Citizen have already said, or should I say, Cloud Imperium Games have already said that you can earn everything in the game. You don't need to buy anything.
Yeah, but there isn't a game yet. So currently, to
But you
own
can
all the
still play
things,
it. For the last what, 6 years you've been playing it.
yeah, but to own all the things in Star Citizen, it would only cost me like I can't remember what the package is worth now.
Oh, it's
Like
something
like
ridiculous. But that's actually monetary
$40,000 or
value. That's your
something.
FOMO though.
No, but I'm just saying, like it doesn't matter what it is. It's like 40K versus 100K, £100 or $100.
But that's not
And
right.
all you're doing is like they're not locking anything out that you need. It's as long as the things
Star
they're
Citizen's
locking
not
out.
locking out anything out because you can earn it all in the game.
Well, at the moment you can't.
Oh no. Well, you will be able to though. That's what
Well,
I'm trying to say.
yeah, again, but that we have to wait and see if that is the case. So I'm just playing devil's advocate here, right?
Here we
It's
go.
like because you don't know until it happens,
Yeah.
and I don't have a huge amount of faith in Mr. Roberts. Um, so like I think as long as that if that $20 difference for GTA 6 is literally like cosmetic things that I don't care about, but I can still I get the full game story, I get the full access to all the in-game vehicles, not a cosmetic thing that you can put on it, then I'd be okay with that. Then it's like, do I think GTA 6 is worth $80? Probably not, with all the other crap that's going to come with it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is as well. It's going to be interesting to see what the level of hype is
Oh, actually,
in the PC world by the time it comes round. Because we're going to have had a year of all this awful things they're going to be doing to their console.
So I'm going to
like,
retract.
user base.
I'm going to retract what I said. Apparently,
Whoa.
there's an exclusive storyline in the Ultimate Edition.
So it's a DLC.
There's Day One DLC, which I hate, by the way. I freaking hate Day One DLC. I think it's ridiculous, and nobody should be doing that. No company should be doing stuff like that. That is literally putting stuff behind a paywall, regardless. So there's an actual exclusive story that you can only play if you buy the bigger package, which is kind of shitty, in my opinion.
Oh, wait a minute. Does it come with an achievement?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Oh, well, then that's bullshit. Yeah, that's nonsense. I want to get all the achievements.
Yeah.
If you can't 100% the game and you've bought the game, then that is like that's really bad because like in I was in Space Marine 2 because I 100%ed it, but then they're releasing all these other game modes and things like that, and they're just like, yeah, no, the achievements aren't going to change. They're like, that's it. You know, this is the thing. It's like you can get all of the achievements if you buy the basic version of the game and you play it online. You still have to play it online to get some of the achievements and things like that. But you don't have to buy any of the other stuff because you can earn the weapons and things in game. You can grind it out. Then I'm like, oh, that's fine. So, but if there literally is some like thing that leads to 1% of players have this trophy, then I think that's a bit crap.
Right, I've got a question for you there.
Crap.
I've got a good question for you, okay? I keep on seeing like, all these people talking about physical media, things like that. And one of the things that popped up was this guy was looking for a steelbook version of Turok that was on the 360, which I actually own. It's sitting on my shelf.
Sell it.
And sorry?
Sell it.
Oh, sell it. Oh,
sell it.
No, I'm not going to sell it. I thought it was quite interesting, but I remember that you can't play that game online anymore.
Nope.
And it has only online achievements in it. so you can't get those achievements anymore.
So you should have got them when you had the opportunity.
Well, I actually got it after the game, like
Oh.
yeah. So it kind of sucks, doesn't it? And with the
Well,
Xbox 360 stuff getting shut down slowly but surely,
yeah.
even if you're playing your Xbox 360, it doesn't log on anymore, as far as I know, or it's going to be going that way very, very soon,
Hmm.
which kind of sucks.
Um.
But that's a
Yeah.
completely different thing, obviously. But you're talking
Yeah.
about
That.
like not getting achievements. That was one of the ones that I was like, I'd love to get achievements in that game because
What platform is it on?
as a
What
360
platform?
it was.
I've got a bit of software that'll let you unlock those. Don't worry about it. You haven't actually got them, but it'll say you've got them.
Oh, that's pretty funny. But
It's a
yeah,
save
so
file editor.
well, I think we
Um,
should start wrapping it up there. As in,
yeah,
like,
I
do
think
you
like
think that people should be buying Grand Theft Auto 6, and or should they support the non-physical media for consoles? I'm not talking about PC because, as I said, PC have many different storefronts you can buy from. Consoles are locked into
so. I
ecosystems, as we
think
talked about.
So
Let me
if the rumors about what you're saying about the way they're going to monetize GTA 6 are correct,
hmm
I would say don't pre-order the game.
I
Don't
wouldn't
not
pre-order it.
don't I wouldn't say not don't buy it, but
Yeah,
don't pre-order the game. It's not a physical thing. You're going to be able to download it. Um there is no fear of missing out, guys.
no,
Like
there's not.
literally that even the day one nonsense, guess what? It's not really day one because if you want to, you can just wait for the more expensive bundle to be discounted in a year's time and you'll be like, oh like I got the
Yeah.
day one achievement. Then the matter of like the physical media for consoles, I don't really know. I mean I think I'm on the fence about that because I've lived without it for so long
Yeah, you
on
have,
PC.
yeah.
Like the thing that I have a problem with physical media is things like music, movies,
Yeah,
software applications, things like that. That's what I have a real issue with in the ownership space.
yeah.
Um, Again, it's going to come down to you personally. But I think you're not going to have a choice, right? I think like realistically, the manufacturers of Blu-rays and things like that, the people that actually make the drives, it's not that profitable for them anymore, so they're moving
Yeah.
into other things.
hmm
So the ones they do make tend to be the really high-end ones that you can then flash the firmware on and things like that. Like I have one, so that I can burn 4K UHD.
Yeah.
Um, and they're very expensive, right? So it's probably not the kind of thing that Sony would want to put into a machine anyway, because like they retail for like $300.
Yeah,
So
that's right, yeah.
maybe Sony is going to be able to purchase them for like $100 a unit, and then they want to make money on it. And the same with Xbox. And it's like I can see why they would want to go digital only, but I think at the end of the day, digital only for that customer base is going to be net negative for them. I think you're going to have every little bit of money wrung out of you that they
Yeah.
can.
hmm
And purely because like you said, I think the real thing is, like you were talking about earlier on, is regardless of all the things we've discussed, do you want to be tied into an ecosystem?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good thing to be tied into an ecosystem
No, I don't think it is
because
either.
you're at the mercy of that company
Yeah.
and the decisions they're making.
hmm
Um, you know. So if it was me, I would say my overall advice would be take your money and build a PC or buy a pre-built.
I
And then put Baslite on it or something like that. Just stay away from Microsoft. You don't need it.
yeah, I'm not going to disagree. I actually for once we actually see eye to eye in this.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think
That's it.
we should be pre-ordering a lot of games anyway.
No.
There's certain games I do and I probably will pre-order, like Exodus. I
Mhm.
really look forward to that. Because I think that the company that's making it is actually going to make it really well, and there shouldn't be any problems that it shouldn't. Um,
Mm.
but something like Grand Theft Auto 6, when it has so many rumors and also so many facts about it that are very detrimental to the consumer. I don't think it's a great idea to pre-order something like that. And when it comes to the consoles, not having physical media, I don't think that people should be allowing that, because a console was built for the purpose of being able to play it 5, 10, 20, 30 years down the line. And everybody's always had that process of doing things like that ever since the Super Nintendo. Yeah, I would have said. And when it comes down to, like, having the PS6 or the new Xbox, I wouldn't even say there's any point in getting it. Buy yourself a PC, as you said.
Yeah,
Um, Fair enough. You won't be able to play PlayStation games, the exclusive ones possibly, but you
you
will be able
will.
to play. I think they won't stick to it. If they go digital like they're saying, they will put the PlayStation games on the PC eventually, I think, because they'll find
Ah,
out that
like
people won't
if
be buying their console because it'll
yeah,
be so expensive, and people will be like, I can't afford this game on here anyway. Yeah, and then you've got the Xbox ecosystem, which is on Windows anyway. Yeah, so if you're really wanting to play the Xbox ecosystem, just play it on the PC.
I think like again the move towards digital is like, to me, even just speaks of like GTA. Like literally, if GTA's release with the launch of the PS6 and it is digital only and all this stuff's correct, I literally think the exclusive window could be like 3 months,
Yeah.
because you know Rockstar want to make money,
Oh yeah.
Take Two want to make money.
Yeah.
They're not owned by Sony.
I
Yeah, and if they're not, like, and the reality is, it's like they're not stupid. Take Two are like, well, sales of this thing are likely going to go down,
yeah.
because the
Of course.
cost is going
Yeah.
up, and it's becoming a bit more anti-consumer. The big thing that console had going for it, right, over PC, and I would 100%, like 100% always say this, is secondhand market, man.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Secondhand
The
market,
secondhand
so
market's
good.
absolutely brilliant because you can
Which
go
is,
into
yeah,
very well-known shops nowadays, whatever one's on your side of the continents or
yeah.
whatever, and you can go in and sometimes you can pick up games for £2, or sometimes they are a
Oh,
bit more
bargain.
expensive, but
And that,
you can still get bargains, or you can trade,
mhm,
and you can, like, trade in your secondhand or trade in your game so you can get something else that
yeah,
you wanted to play. And that allows people access to video games. That's an
yeah.
actual access point for video games, where they're cutting that access point off completely. And I think that's a disgrace, to be honest, because that means that video games on consoles, um, is not anything that a household can afford,
Mhm.
possibly.
And
It is going
you're
to be
like,
a major luxury.
the other thing is as well, right? Because of that secondhand market, it's really shaped the way Valve and GOG and people like that. Valve mainly, like Steam. Sorry, I should say Steam,
Yeah,
owned
yeah.
by Valve.
Oh my God,
Um,
yeah.
it it shaped their marketing strategy in that, there is no secondhand, there can't be a secondhand market in a digital world. But there could, but no one's gonna like go to the effort of allowing license swapping. It's very complicated. Um, so what do? How do they combat that? They have really good sales. They have really good day one pricing. So
Yeah,
another net effect, knock-on effect of that might be, if console goes completely digital storefront, you might see PC game pricing just mirroring console game pricing.
which will not be good at all.
No,
And I don't
it's
want
like,
to see that at all.
yeah, I don't think that realistically would happen, because the most PC gamers are like they're just grumpy old men
Yeah,
or
yeah.
women, and
Yeah.
they're just like, no, screw you, I'm never going to buy something from you again.
Yeah, and they will do that.
And that's
If
it.
you
They'll
look
just be
at
like, no, I don't care.
if you look at the Steam reviews, for example, like Helldivers was like this best-selling game on Steam, regardless. It was massively selling, and
Mhm.
everybody's like, "This is the best thing ever." Bring it to Xbox. Bring it. It was already on PlayStation. Bring it to Xbox. Get us all involved because we all, like, fight for freedom. All that type of jazz.
Mhm.
And then PlayStation decided to cut people off completely and utterly. And when they did that, it got review bombed harshly on Valve, or should I say
Yeah,
Steam. And then
yeah,
people were like, "Well, I'm taking my money back. Screw you guys. You've kind
yeah.
of screwed me over." So it's one of those things that's that helps keep the gaming market on the PC leveled, should I say?
Yeah, the community is much more vocal,
Yeah.
I would say, than the console
You
community.
also have so many independent companies making video games on PC for PC that never get on any console at all ever. And
Mm.
some of those video games are some of the best video games you can buy. Yeah. Some of them are so good it's ridiculous. And they'll never ever see the light of day on any console.
Yeah, I agree. It is a shame.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. But I suppose, yeah, it's a bit of an interesting discussion. We agreed at the end, which I'm quite
Yeah.
surprised about. I can't.
I
Not
kind of
often
I
that
kind of brought you
happens.
over to my side slightly in that one.
No, I just think like not
Oh, now
about
you're
the
disagreeing with me.
not no, but not about because when we were originally talking about this, you're like physical media. I still don't really care about the physical media, if you
Yeah.
know what I mean. But in terms of like really because it came round to really like should you buy this? What should you do you want to spend your money on this? Do you want to be and it's really like it doesn't matter whether it's Sony makes it or Microsoft makes it or Valve makes a device or Nintendo. It's like just
So
don't be locked into an ecosystem.
I'm going to say this very quickly before we finish up, because like we're talking about looking at the ecosystems again. A lot of people will
Mm.
be like, "Well, I've spent so much money on Xbox, or I've spent so much money on PlayStation," right? Which is true.
And
I spent a lot of money on both those. I have like anything from the original Xbox right up to what
yeah,
they've got now, and the same with PlayStation in some form, and also digital because I have bought
yeah.
digital games off of PlayStation and Xbox and blah blah blah. Now, a
Hmm.
lot of people were like, "Oh, but I've got so much games on there." I'm going to say this quite bluntly. Epic Games give you 2 free games every week,
Yeah,
and you don't have a subscription service.
yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation have a subscription service. Xbox will say, "That's your game." PlayStation goes, "That's your game as long as you keep on subscribing."
Hmm.
Yeah. But Epic Games are like, "No, just take 2 free games. There you go." And some of them are absolute bangers.
Some
Some of them
some of
are
them are really
great.
good, some of them are terrible, and the majority of them are kind of in the middle, kind of indie
Yeah.
titles that are quite interesting. But yeah,
But
you're right. You
um,
just have an account that you don't pay for, and
yeah.
they're just like, yeah,
And
there you
every
go.
so often, Steam give away free games, and every so often, GOG give away free games as well. So you've got
Yeah.
3 marketplaces on the PC that are giving away free games, and
Hmm.
Epic's 2 every week nearly. And at Christmas time or festive season time, whatever you want to call it, I don't really care. Um, at that time of year, when it comes to December, they're giving away games every day for 2 weeks, and when they hit that last day, they give away AAA titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, PC in so many respects is so much better. So much better.
Yeah, I get the kind of I've invested a lot of money in X, but it's like, well, do you know what? If you're lucky enough to have invested in physical copies of things,
Yeah.
look after your physical copies of things
Always look after your
like
physical copies.
look after the device that you're playing them on, and
Yeah.
you don't have to keep doing the same thing. You don't have to keep giving the same company money. Like
hmm
it might be on PlayStation. Do you know what? If you still like consoles, give Xbox a go. I don't think it's the thing I would do. I would buy a pre-built PC and install Bazzite on it or
See,
CashOS or something like that.
it's funny that you said give Xbox a go, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because yesterday I would have said I would prefer to have PlayStation, and I
Hmm.
have a PlayStation 5, yeah. And I'm more over buying games on the PlayStation 5 than I was on an Xbox. And
Mm.
sometimes more over buying on the PlayStation 5 than the PC for brand new games, that is, brand new, like new releases. And I was, I'm sitting there playing Sword Art Online Echoes of Ironclad, which is the demo that's out at the moment. But if you play the demo, it carries on to the actual main game, it does. Yeah,
Mhm.
so your save actually counts. Now I've played it on the PC, I've played it on the PlayStation, and I'm like, you know what? I could buy it for either one. I could buy it for the PlayStation because I'm just sitting on the couch and I can play it there. And last night when I saw the whole thing about the physical media thing, I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it on the PC now. And I'm buying it digitally on the PC, but
Without any
because
fear.
without any fear that I'm actually going to keep that game.
I
But if I
know.
buy it on the PlayStation, they're rewriting their whole system of, well, we might take it off you.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
I
no, that's
think
not going to happen. I'm not
and
going
I,
to buy it on the PlayStation. I'm not buying digital games on the PlayStation anymore.
and I think that's a good place to end. I think you've made your point very strongly there. It's
I
like,
think so, yeah.
I'm not buying any more stuff from
Yeah.
these guys.
No, I'm just not. That's it. I'm done. Okay, right.
Oh,
Thanks for joining us. We will be back with another episode of randomness next week. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but we will.
no,
It just
there's
depends
no
what's in the
shortage
news.
of there's no shortage of awful behavior from companies,
I
so
know,
I'm
right?
fairly sure we'll like find something to whinge about.
And
Um,
yeah, we'll insert that 20 pence into the arcade machine and maybe play Inter Karate Plus. All right, well, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.